Vulnerability in the past, based upon one's definitions of it, might have been perceived to be a negative thing, a problem, a weakness, a potential to be destroyed by another, or to not sovereignly manage one's boundaries in a competitive, tribalized, taprootified, predatory, and opportunistic world. So there's a paradox here. It's a beautiful, graceful paradox. And anyone who's been in a relationship of true love that's been truly fulfilling to them has experienced emotional vulnerability. And they have experienced the fruits of that emotional vulnerability, the immeasurable grace and elegance and joy of that connection, that realized, experienced connection of mind, body, soul, energy, and consciousness. And that experienced connection was only arrived at through chosen vulnerability. Now, there are dynamics of vulnerability. If you get run over by a car and you end up in the hospital unconscious, you're going to be vulnerable to a bunch of doctors putting you back together. And they may save your life, and they may save you untold years of pain by their actions. And you might not even have recognized it happened because you were so vulnerable as to be totally unconscious. We're not suggesting that that's the optimal form of vulnerability. We would suggest that no relationship evolves to its highest potential without emotional vulnerability, without taking a risk, without being willing to say, I'm willing to love this person and give to this person, even if I don't have a verified, factual way to prove that they're going to do the same in return. And the joyous wonder of that process is that when we do find it within ourselves to say, I don't care whether I get anything in return or not. I just want to love everybody. I'm not focused on what I'm going on whether I might get hurt emotionally or not. I'm just going to love everybody. I'm going to care about them. I'm going to facilitate them. I'm going to support them. I'm going to honor them. I'm going to offer to them. I'm going to serve them in any way I possibly can from humility because I love them. Because I chose to love them. I chose to be vulnerable to being abandoned, criticized, hated, feared, destroyed in the process, because I recognize that process of, even if it took 1,000 lifetimes to get there, if in that moment of soul meeting, willingness to vulnerably meet their soul, through all their defenses, through all of their projections, through all their habits, through all of their prior tribal, taprooty, destructive intentions or tendencies, that moment of soul meeting was worth it all. If I have absolute faith in that as truth, as transcendent truth, is there any fire I or anybody would not walk through in order to bring that about? Is there any discomfort or pain or challenge or confusion or misunderstanding or conflict that I would not be willing to endure in order for that result to occur? What could be a higher priority? What could be more important? What could be more valid? What could be more practically, realistically, truthfully, factually necessary in a world where we're fighting and killing each other and feeding on each other than that intention? If we're not doing that, what are we doing? If we're not headed towards that result, what result are we prioritizing more highly? And if we are prioritizing some other result more highly, why? Is it really worth it? Is it really going to bear good fruit? Is it really going to make us happy? Is it really going to bring peace to the world? Is it really going to create an environment for our children that they can grow up in and be fulfilled by and benefit as a soul within? So this vulnerability, this willingness to face our deepest fears squarely, directly, no matter how seemingly real they are, even if it looks like absolutely, oh no, they're going to abandon me, they're going to hate me, they're going to kill me, they're going to destroy me, they're going to torture me, they're gonna, all of these projections, to live transcendent of those imaginings, that foundational fear that is the echo of the historical traditional past of humanity, to transcend all of that by conscious willful choice, to dive right into the teeth of the seeming terror that all human beings have experienced in one form or another, and to love as we do so. Is that an honor to have that opportunity? Is that a service to provide, a model to present, a willingness to walk that talk, to offer that, humbly offer that option, like water in the desert, to tribalized, taprootified societies? So the challenge might be that moment of meeting the teeth with love. Unconditional, absolutely determined, absolutely courageous love. Recognizing the first of us may get chomped up by the teeth, and if we just keep presenting with the love, that the teeth will be blunted. They'll cease to try to gobble us up.